Here are the organic forested free range pigs here at Babbinswood Farm in Shropshire. They're rotated around this forested area to help clear brush and eat nettles, and that's good for them. Here they're fed on excess dairy, organic dairy that the farm produces, and fattened up on that. But they just create natural disturbance. They excrete manure and dung on the floor and urine, and that fertilises the soil as well. And it's all about expressing the behaviours that a wild boar would natively here in Britain, in creating natural disturbance and uprooting things and allowing plants to germinate where they wouldn't have been able to previously penetrate the hard capped soil. So for example, you see here they've turned over the soil with their tusks and their snouts the same way a wild boar would, and you've got all this overturned exposed soil. This way, if a seed lands on here through bird manure or dropping or blowing or dropping from the trees, it's on aerated soil, and it's much more likely to then sink in and germinate than something like this, where it's harder to cap through it. This way, more plant species can germinate here, which helps in the biodiversity of the flora here at the woods in Babbinswood Farm. It's good for the pigs as well. They seem to really enjoy being out here in the lovely sunny weather. Helps to have really hardy, resilient breeds. I couldn't tell you the breeds of these pigs here, but also breeds like Tamworth and Gloucester Old Spot and things like that are all good, viable options. But really, all pigs would love this kind of setup, because as Joel Salatin says, it expresses the pigness of the pig. They're expressing their natural behaviour, and not only is it good for the landscape, but they're happier. And happy, healthy pigs with broad, diverse diets of all this foliage here create good meat if you're to slaughter them for pork. And it's things like this that really replicate the old sustainable ways that we used to do things. Forested pigs was a common thing in England and Europe up until relatively recently. People would send their pigs through a forest and keep them there for a few days, and it would be sustainable because it would create all the habitat and disturbance that wild boars do, but also you create meat, and that regenerates the forest for next year when you can just do it all again. And as long as you do it right and don't over poach the land, the forest gets healthier every year, and hopefully so with your pigs. And it's just proof that farming and creating food, it doesn't have to be against nature. It can benefit nature and us. We can have systems like these where we're completely syntropic with nature and natural processes. Very good looking pigs, aren't you? Really kick-starts the succession. Well, that's about it for today.